James Kaufman, World News Report today, August 25th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. J.D. Vance is a master of the media. J.D. Vance is continuing to show why President Trump made a brilliant choice in selecting him as his running mate. We're going to play 4 short clips of the interview so you can see how masterful Vance actually was. Vance was a guest on NBC's Meet the Press this morning, Sunday, with left-wing host Kristen Welker. He was asked a series of questions, including questions about inflation, the economy, abortion, and his year-old comments on childless cat ladies. Each question was slanted to assist Welker's favorite candidate, Kamala Harris, but Vance was completely prepared and turned the interview into a complete rout. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Whatever the number is, that number for the record, they say it's closer to 8 to 10 million.
But I think there are reasons to think that DHS is underestimating. Whatever the real number is, it's way too high, right? It's millions upon millions of illegal immigrants that have come in just since Kamala Harris became the border czar a few years ago.
She was put in charge of the root causes of migration.
Well, the root causes of migration, I would say, Kristen, is that Kamala Harris refuses to do her job as border czar.
Trying to explain anything to someone this far left is next to impossible, but Vance does a spectacular job. Let's see if she can understand.
Let's talk about Trump's record during his first term. He did impose rounds of tariffs, and it cost Americans nearly $80 billion in new taxes. Do you acknowledge that imposing more tariffs will ultimately cost consumers?
Well, what it really does is it penalizes importers from bringing goods outside the country into the country. And I think that's just a necessary thing. We know that China and a number of other countries are using effectively slave labor to undercut the wages of American workers. Donald Trump thinks that has to stop. And again, what Kamala Harris is saying, Kristen, is that if you do this, you're somehow going to cause skyrocketing inflation. In reality, Donald Trump already did it. He brought a lot of jobs back, and it didn't cause inflation.
Again, buy in America. Bring jobs home. America first. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand how the left thinks, or if they think at all.
Now, the estimates vary, but how do you respond to that charge that Trump's tariffs would hurt the middle class?
Yes, if you step back a little bit, Kristen, there's this whole thing that Kamala Harris did at the convention where she made a bunch of claims about what would happen and not enough actually reflection on what already happened, right? Because Donald Trump was already president. He used tariffs to bring manufacturing jobs back to our country. I think he'll do it again. And he did it while keeping prices extremely low. Because if you go back to the Trump presidency, we had 12,000 factories that were built during Donald Trump's presidency. Inflation never really ticked above 2% his entire administration. In fact, was sort of around 1.5% most of the time that he was president. So when Kamala Harris says, if we do the thing that Trump already did, it's going to be way worse than it was last time, I just don't think that makes a lot of sense.
Way worse than it was last time. I think it worked for everyone, at least here in the USA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's tough for me to watch trying to convince a leftist of any policy that makes sense, period. I guess the strangest part is the tariffs were put in place when Trump was president last time. They worked like a charm. But now, just because Kamala says so, they're going to cause hyperinflation, which actually has already occurred, again, under her and the Biden regime or administration. So that ship has sailed. You've already caused hyperinflation. Tariffs didn't cause any inflation under the Trump presidency, but because Kamala Harris said so, Ms. Welker cannot understand how that would not occur. God bless you and yours. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.